Alright, so I'm going to be covering the two key events that happened during the beginning of the Civil War during the time of 1861 and 1863. Alright, so the Battle of Bull Run. The Battle of Bull Run was a very interesting battle that happened before the Civil War. It kind of got everything started. It says McDowell, commander of the Union Army, moved out of Washington on July 16th. It was a slow movement which allowed Confederate Commander P.G.T. Beauregard to call Confederate General Joseph E. Johnston for reinforcement. Beauregard then led his troops for the very first time in history by railroad in Shenandoah Valley. It was an easy way to rush Confederate troops to the scene of the battle. This gave them an advantage because McDowell still needed time to prepare his troops. I also included a quote from the book. It said, "Everyone knew the battle was coming. Spectators with picnic baskets followed the Union Army out of Washington to watch the surrounding hillsides. They were very interested in watching this battle because it was the first pretty big battle between the Confederates and the Union Army." It also says on July 21st, 1861, 35,000 Union troops marched from the federal capital in Washington, D.C. to confront 20,000 Confederate troops near Manassas Junction, Virginia, near a small river known as Bull Run. It was the very first major land battle of the American Civil War. Alright, and this is a map that shows the first Battle of Bull Run. Right here in the red are the Confederates, and right here are the Unions. This is them sort of coming in. Alright, some major impacts that happened. The Battle of Bull Run says that the battle cost 3,000 Union casualties compared to only 1,750 for the Confederates. In the lecture, which talks about the causes of the Civil War, says that the Battle of Bull Run inaugurated the cause of the Civil War. By the end of 1861, more than 500,000 men had enlisted in the Union Army. This was a major battle victory for the Confederates. However, the Confederate Army remained unorganized. In contrast, the battle gave the Union a call to arms and not to underestimate their opponents. The Union became more prepared for this subsequent battle due to the loss. George B. McClellan replaced Irvin McDowell and trained and reorganized the army into a more disciplined force. This eventually helped the Union in winning the overall Civil War despite the loss of the Second Battle of Bull Run too. Alright, second Bull Run, and I'll be playing a short clip for you. The battle lasted about 2 days. So let's get started and watch this video.
Manassas, Virginia, 1862. Confederate troops gather ahead of the Second Battle of Bull Run. Lee's forces are heavily outnumbered. But this Virginia woodland is home territory these volunteer troops know like the back of their hand. Rigid training and strict discipline have turned them into a formidable fighting force.
If you'd been a betting man back then, you would have bet the South would have won. The South only had to hold its territory. The North had to come and take it away. The North had to be the occupying force, which is far harder to do.
At Bull Run, Lee easily demonstrates his force's superiority. In one engagement lasting just 10 minutes, the Yankee 5th New York Regiment loses more men than any other regiment during the entire Civil War. All told, Lee's men kill over 1,700 Union soldiers. Determination and local knowledge give the South their greatest victory in the war to date. But Lee and his commanders have underestimated the nature of this conflict.
Alright, so let's get to this next slide. There we go. The impact of the second battle. Alright, so yeah, there was a second battle at the same place. It was way larger than the first Battle of Bull Run. 1,305 killed of the Confederates, 7,048 wounded, and 55,000 either unknown number of missing and captured men. The Union, 1,716 killed, 8,215 wounded, and 3,893 captured or wounded of 70,000. After the battle, the Union wanted to take the war up north. Overall, the first and second Battle of Bull Run was very important because it not only led to the Civil War, but it also helped as an engagement between two untested and inexperienced armies. The battle itself was marked by countless mistakes, yet two sides demonstrated that they could put large armies in a field to fight. In a picture that you see on the left-hand side is a plan of the second Battle of Bull Run. Alright, and that concludes my presentation. Here's my Works Cited page.